Hey there, Padre. This is a VR to your giveaway contest. Congratulations on your subscribers. I echo what everybody else has said. It's a great idea for a contest. I've really enjoyed listening to everybody. This happens to be my first YouTube video in addition to a VR. So glad to be a part of the community. I'll talk more about that in an intro video that I'll do, but it's a great community, a lot of great people, and I have really enjoyed my short time lurking. What did I want to do when I got out of high school? I'm probably the most goalless human being on the planet. I'm horrible at setting goals, always have been. As such, I never really thought about what was next, what comes after high school. Well, let's see where the day takes me. I'm very laid back and very much a let life lead kind of person, and for better or worse, it's got me to where I am today. Often better, often worse. So, when I got out of high school, I was very much into music. I had serious interest in, like you, being a rock star. I didn't have purple hair. I had hair, but it wasn't purple. I had a lot of hair. Now it's been replaced from here. You take what you can get. I play guitar, and I played a lot of guitar at that time in my life. I found myself playing 6 and 8 hours a day for several years. I had another guy that I played with, and we did a lot of writing and a lot of brainstorming, jamming, noodling, whatever. And I got to the point where I was pretty good at what I was doing, but I knew I would never be able to make any sort of a career or a paycheck with my guitar. So that idea kind of faded away. I kept my love for music, however, and I was reading a Rolling Stone magazine back in the mid to late 80s, about 86 or 87, and there was an ad for a place called Full Sail University, and it's more of a trade school than a university, or at least it was at the time. It was for the recording arts, Full Sail Center for the Recording Arts. It was in Altamont Springs, Florida, right outside of Orlando. And there was no internet. I read what I could read about it, which was mostly what they wanted to tell you about it in the forms of advertisements, and I did run across a couple of interviews with some of the instructors. But I was very much interested in getting into the music industry, and I thought I would give it a go. And packed my merry little truck and moved to Florida, enrolled in that the course, the comprehensive recording course. It consisted of things like recording engineering, video production, live sound engineering, music business, electronic, what is now computer-generated music making. Back then it was called, the bulk of it was MIDI, M-I-D-I. And I went through that course. It was about an 11-month course. I met some really great people. They had a lot of great instructors. It was a very young school at the time. A lot of our classrooms were actually in loading docks. They didn't have a campus at the time. Now it's a massive complex. But, timing is everything, right? Anyway, I went through that and enjoyed it a great deal. I learned a lot. And towards the end of that, they try to get you to hook yourself up with an internship somewhere. I'm from North Alabama, and the music industry in the late 80s in North Alabama was practically non-existent. There was one tiny recording studio in the town I was from. There were a couple of really nice studios in Muscle Shoals. Some of you have probably heard of those. Those were very, very prominent in the music industry and music history in the 60s and 70s. Fame Recording Studios, Muscle Shoals Sound, Jackson Highway, who's who of rock and roll went through there. Anyway, I managed to get myself an interview with the head of that studio, Jimmy Johnson. He, along with the rest of the gang that worked there, were the Swampers that's mentioned in Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home Alabama. Muscle Shoals has got the Swampers. Well, they came to own the studio, and they ran it. They recorded mostly Memphis blues and a lot of country stuff at the time in the 80s. And I went over there and did an internship, 6 weeks. Did almost nothing of note. One really, really cool thing I did while I was there was rearrange the tape vault, which was quite literally a trip through rock and roll history. It was amazing being in this tiny little room with, the ghosts, if you will, of Bob Dylan, Aretha Franklin, Leonard Skinner, Bob Seger, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Staples singers, Otis Redding, Percy Sledge. The list goes on. I mean, it's an absolute. Joe Cocker, Rod Stewart. I could go on all day, but that's not why we're here. After I did that internship, found out that there were no paid positions available. They were on the downside of that studio's life. Now it got sold, and they returned to their roots and turned the original one into a museum. So I was kind of like, okay, what's next? Looked for work for quite a while. Did a few things. Did some sound with NASA. Temporary stuff like that. And nothing really ever came of it. Like Sue Dunhill mentioned, dreams just kind of fade away sometimes. You kind of forget about where you were going. That's kind of what happened with the recording. I fell back into service industry. I worked in a lot of restaurants and things like that. I got into management and managed every restaurant in town. That went on for a while. Then I moved to California. Met my wife, moved to California. Did some work at our church, about 7 years. Injured myself and got back into the restaurant industry, back into management. One thing about the service industry, working with people, that I learned over the course of many years was that I really, really, really enjoy people. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy meeting people, doing what I can to make their day better, which is often quite a challenge in the service industry. Nonetheless, I took it on. Did that for a lot of years. For most of my work in life has been in that field. Did a few things also with our church in the way of working with youth group. Awana is another youth program. I did a lot of stuff with that, and I really, really liked that as well. And we ended up having 2 boys. They're now 11 and 9, almost 9. And one of them has pretty severe time with ADD, and school for him has been an extreme challenge. A couple of years ago, we decided that in order for him to flourish in life and to learn the things that he needed to learn, and to not feel beaten up every day, not physically, but that we needed to homeschool. Around that time, I also went through, relating to the other injury 7-8 years ago, I've had 3 back surgeries, and this last one has pretty much incapacitated me from being able to do anything physical for the foreseeable future. And those 2 things came together with some divine help, in my opinion. And I am now a teacher. I know a couple of you tried your hand at teaching. Some didn't like it. Some flourish in it. I have the utmost respect for teachers. I had a great teacher in high school who taught me, among other things, probably the most important lesson in my life. And that was that it is okay to make a mistake. It's okay to not accomplish what you set out to accomplish, as long as you get back up and don't become a victim to the mistake. And his name was Tommy Esslinger. He was one of the greatest men I ever knew. And I am doing my best to impart those kinds of thoughts and ideas to my kids as I teach them at home. And we have fun. We do a lot of work. And it's been a blessing to me for sure. And I hope one of these days that they say it's been a blessing to them. So where I saw myself out of high school was definitely not a teacher. It was more of a rebel rocker or something like that. And I've come full circle, and I have 2 little rebels of my own now. And they push and challenge me on a daily basis, and I push back. And we have a mutual respect that builds all 3 of us up. My goal now, goal setting, still a challenge for me, but my goal now is to impart to them the things that I feel they need to know and will be useful to them in life, so that they can become successful at whatever they choose, and also to make them respectable people that are able to teach other people and able to work with people and enjoy people the way I have over the years. And we'll see where that goes. But anyway, from rocker to teacher, I know there are a bunch of rockers out there that started out as teachers, and so I'm side B of that album. Again, I want to thank you for doing this contest, this giveaway. It's been really, really fun watching everybody's responses, and I hope to do a lot more videos pretty soon. Like I said, this is my first one, and I'm going to let you go because I'm through being nervous. All right, have a great day, everybody. I will talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, Padre.